Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Daniel and welcome to my channel where I teach beautiful people just like you how to do more things for and by yourself. Today, I'm going to be making 1 gallon of mixed berry cider with berry season in full swing. I can't think of a better way to celebrate the flavors of some strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries than to incorporate it into one of my favorite recipes, hard apple cider. But before we dive into all that, I just want to remind all of you beautiful people that if you get something out of this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see more home brewing videos, if you just want to see my face more often, if you want to learn how to do more things for and by yourself, then subscribe to this channel, become a part of this community, and learn how to do more things like home brewing, gardening, DIY, sustainability, self-sufficiency, and so on and so forth. And also, as I make this cider, if you want to be able to read along the recipe, read along with the method, and if you want to see where I have some useful links, go ahead down in the description below. So now that all of that is out of the way, let's go ahead and dive on in and start making some mixed berry cider. The equipment that you'll need to get your mixed berry cider is very few and very simple. You simply need a 1 gallon carboy, a funnel to put all of your ingredients into the carboy. You're going to need a hydrometer and a graduated cylinder so that you could take a specific gravity reading, and you're going to need an airlock. That is all the equipment that you need to get your hard cider started. Now, our recipe is also very simple and has very few ingredients. 3 containers of apple juice concentrate. We're going to be using mixed berry juice, which I'll show you how to make. We're going to be using spring water all the way up to the 1 gallon mark, and then we're going to be using ½ a teaspoon of Safale SO4 ale yeast. This recipe has very few ingredients, but the flavors really pack a punch once your cider is carbonated and aged. So that's all the equipment you're going to need, all of the ingredients you're using, so let's start making some mixed berry hard cider. The very first step is to make your mixed berry juice. I've taken 1 cup of blackberries, 1 cup of strawberries, and 1 cup of raspberries, threw them in a freezer bag and let them freeze overnight, and then I'm going to be taking those frozen berries, I'm adding them to a mesh cheesecloth bag, if you will, and then I'm going to be warming them on the stovetop where they're going to melt down, and I'm going to be juicing them. The goal is to get as much juice out of these berries as humanly possible, but we're not cooking them, we're not boiling them, we're just melting them down and mashing them until we get as much juice out of them as humanly possible. Next, we will be adding all of our ingredients to our carboy, starting with apple juice concentrate. Once all of the apple juice concentrate is added, I'm going to be adding a little bit of water, but this is mostly for a visual effect. And then once I've added some water, I'm going to add our mixed berry juice, give you a nice color change there, give a little swirl, and then we're going to add the rest of the water all the way up to the 1 gallon mark. Then we're going to vigorously shake the solution in order to get a good specific gravity reading. We're going to see that we're right around 1.054, which is going to give us an ABV of around 7%, which is right on par for a typical cider. So we have the apple juice concentrate, we have the mixed berry juice, we added the water, but it's not going to ferment itself. So now we're adding ½ a teaspoon of Safale SO4 ale yeast. It's going to be turning sugar into alcohol, releasing CO2 along the way, and it's going to turn our tasty juice into a delicious cider. Once every ingredient has been added, we're going to throw on our airlock and fill it up to the appropriate level. And those are all of the ingredients that we're adding to this delicious hard cider. So before I move on to the follow-up steps, let's recap. We have a 1 gallon glass carboy. We have an airlock. We used a funnel. Very basic items anybody can get a hold of. For our ingredients, we used some spring water, 3 cans of apple juice concentrate, which is very affordable, very easy to find. We made some mixed berry juice with some delicious strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries. And then we added Safale SO4 ale yeast, which is going to eat all the sugars, produce alcohol, bubble up CO2, and bring us to our finished product. So when it comes to home brewing, when it comes to making hard ciders, the follow-up steps, at least for me, are almost always exactly the same, and that is going to be the case for this cider. I'm gonna let this cider sit for 2 weeks. I'm gonna be watching this bubbler, I'm gonna be taking specific gravity readings, and what I'm waiting for is for the specific gravity to go down to 1.000. Whenever it's in that range, I'm gonna rack it over to a bottling bucket or a clean carboy, and then I'm gonna add 1 cup of apple juice. That's because I wanna add 25 grams of sugar back into this bad boy once it's done fermenting. Because what I'm doing next is bottling it. So I'm gonna ferment this for 2 weeks and then I'm moving on to bottling it. I'm gonna rack it over, add my cup of apple juice. I'm gonna sanitize all my bottles. I'm going to rack this into those bottles and then I'm going to cap them and let them sit for a few more weeks, and I'm gonna pop one open and I'm going to enjoy it. Bottle carbonating your cider is super simple, and I'm gonna throw a link down in the description below for a video showing you exactly how to do it. So the timeline from here to there is 4 to 5 weeks until you have a finished product, which is pretty fast for a homebrew. But wait, that's not where all of the magic is. Having made similar cider recipes, in that 5 weeks, your apple flavor is gonna be there. It's gonna be pretty good, and some of your berry flavor is gonna be there as well. But where the berry flavor is really gonna pop is once you've let it sit in the bottle for a few months. As I've said before, I'm so glad that all of you beautiful people are here learning how to make mixed berry cider. If you got anything out of this video, I would appreciate if you hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe. If you're new to homebrewing and you want to see where you can get some great equipment to start making your own ciders at home, I have links down in the description below where you can find all of the equipment that I'm currently using. My goal and my hope for all of you is that you guys are staying curious, staying creative. If you have your own twist for this recipe, if you have your own ideas, implement them and let me know how they turn out down in the comments below. Homebrewing is one of those things where it pays off to be a little weird. I can't wait to see what we're brewing next, but until then, happy brewing.